everybody! I'm gonna try to land on the moon in Kerbal Space Program. Well, not land on the moon. I'm gonna try to get to the moon and pass it by. And if you start telling me it's called the Mun, well, you know what, buddy? I don't want to hear that. How are we gonna do this? The sub-orbital trajectory was fine, but let's start from, you know, 0 here as we get started. I read a tutorial about how to get to the moon. I'm gonna try to replicate this. I did do this in my younger days. And when I went to school, I carried lunch in a bag with an apple for my teacher because I always get a kiss, always got mad when the class was dismissed. See, that's passing me by far side. But anyway, I'm gonna try to replicate this tutorial right off the bat, and we're gonna see how it works. I don't have high hopes, but I've got ideas, and that's enough, I think. We should probably include some science on this, but we'll start just very, very basic. I'm going to go over this tutorial from kerbalspaceprogram.com/wiki, even though this is where I got the tutorial that I don't think worked for me to begin with. They have a like 3-stage rocket here, and it's essentially solid fuel boosters. I think it's 8 solid fuel boosters, but it might only be 4. And then a bunch of liquid fuel engines, and then some final phases that are yet another liquid fuel engine. Let me see here, the bottom stage. I don't know. Look, I'm looking. No, this is okay. I'm gonna do my own thing. Because I normally dispute the idea, even though I'm not a, you know, a PhD in education or anything like that. I dispute the idea that there are learning styles. People go like, oh, I'm a hands-on learner. I'm a reading learner. I'm a listening learner. And I know that you're going to listen to that and you're going to say, but it's not wrong, NL. I know I'm a listening learner. Yeah, because in my opinion, and it could be wrong, somebody told you that these learning styles existed when you were like 10 years old, and then for the rest of your life you decided you were a this kind of learner. But anyway, what I do believe is that there's different things that are more learnable in various different ways. Like, for example, this was like a 40-step written process of how to build this rocket that I was just looking at, and I've decided I ain't about that kind of lifestyle. So instead, we're gonna learn through trial and error and pick something up ourselves. Okay, put this down here. Do the research, okay? I thought I saw a clickbait headline that said everything you thought you knew about learning styles is a lie. Maybe. Okay, so I'm basically just gonna start by having, like, this setup. I don't anticipate this to work. And I don't anticipate, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't necessarily anticipate getting to the moon in episode 1 here. Of trying to get to the moon. It took me several attempts when I did it before. And when I did it before, in like 2012, I believe I just crashed into the planet. You know, not necessarily a glowing endorsement for our progress there. Again, I don't know if science can be transmitted here without batteries, so let's try to throw on some battery packs. I don't even know if these are what affects the, like, if we can even get to these without having EVA suits, or if they'll just work and allow our antenna to function, but I don't know, we'll find out. And then we're also going to go down to level 1 of symmetry, and, you know, again, pretty standard. Put a thermometer and a barometer. And this is going to be Mun attempt 001. Leave feedback notes here. Because essentially I want this to be like, hey, there's not enough thrust. Hey, the thing doesn't fly properly. Speaking of which, not flying properly. Let's make sure we're aligned with everything else. Yeah, I mean, this might work. Staging. 8 of these fire. Good. I think this is correct. Now, let me read through the steps here quickly. After you've run through the launch checklist, hit space to activate the first stage. You'll reach 100 meters per second. When you decouple the solid rocket boosters and activate the lower stage, Tilt your ship 45 degrees to the right. Once done, go to the map view, wait for your apoapsis to be above 70, then cut the throttle, then burn to get into orbit until your periapsis is also at 70, and then you do the moon transfer, which we'll look at shortly here. But for now, the first step is very simple. We've done it many times. We're gonna try to reach a low orbit. What happens? I just want to like right-click on the battery. Nothing happens there. Okay. I just want to enter the orbit first, and then we'll figure out how we're going to get to the moon from there. So you don't do the gravity turn yet. You're waiting for apoapsis to hit roughly 70. There's the moon back there. Wow, we're only like halfway up. This is actually absurd. We don't need this many solid fuel boosters. First off, I'm a little worried we're just going to burn up right now. The whole ship is red hot. I can't take it anymore. That song actually goes, it's white hot. I need rain. Yeah, okay, everything exploded. Did this actually sort of work? Because that would make me a little mad. Apoapsis is at 217,000 meters. That's way too high. But you know what? Strikes me as not being that bad for a test. Alright. I don't know what the blue marker means. That's probably something on the to-do list without a doubt. Anyway, we're just going to wait until apoapsis gets here. I actually cannot believe that we're on the next stage already. Why did we carry these solid fuel boosters all the way up? Not my finest moment. So apoapsis is 217, so we might as well speed up. I mean, we don't have to go speed infinity. This will do. Oh, there's our decouplers. Floating in space. 217,000. Alright, so get aligned here. We know the deal. We're going to burn along the prograde marker and see how it works. Did we lose our thermometer? We might have lost our thermometer there. Cannot transmit science. We didn't lose the antenna, which is kind of a surprise to me to begin with. Alright, so the next step is just unorbit. Sure, this isn't exactly what the tutorial asked for, but it's something. I mean, the next phase should be this. These should be decoupled at this point. Are they? Well, I honestly have no idea, to be honest with you. I might not have... No, I attached them with radial decouplers. Certainly. Prograde marker's almost here. Any minute now. Was it 217.7? 217.7. So we got like another 8 seconds probably. And then we're going to hit Z. 100 meters to go. Let's go. We still have the solid fuel boosters attached to us. I have obviously connected those improperly. This is never going to work. I think essentially, first off, we should be on the prograde marker. But then beyond that, we also just... We have too much mass attached to us with these solid fuel boosters here. What a majestic looking creature, though. What broke during our launch there? I'm gonna try one more time. It's not like the greatest idea, because I mean, obviously things look kind of garbage to begin with. But this is gonna eject everything. Then these are gonna fire. Then yeah, okay. So this time I'm gonna try something a little sketchy, and I'm gonna try to do the gravity turn a little earlier. Like, I'm already holding the D key as hard as I can. We're not really getting much leverage out of it. The problem is you can't cut the solid fuel boosters, so like Apoapsis is already, you know, getting up there, as you can see. We're only halfway done with our solid fuel boosters here. What's Apoapsis at now? 70,000? What if we just eject them? Why does this result in despair? Anyway, okay, revert to vehicle assembly. The thing's just going too hot through the first phase here. I don't necessarily think this is any better, but we'll give it a shot. There's less fuel. Maybe a little... Oh, and no aerodynamics whatsoever. So that strikes me as not being a great idea, but we'll see. Gravity turn has happened early. Whether or not that's for the best is a topic of much discourse and debate, I'm sure. You're supposed to be at a 45-degree angle by the time you reach 10,000 kilometers. Or sorry, 10 kilometers in the air. So this actually, like, seems fairly appropriate. Apoapsis is at 40,000. Then we're going to turn and burn our next phase. I must be losing my mind. Like, they must not be connected to the radial decouplers. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Apoapsis is at 80,000. So we cut throttle. Oh, whoops. Okay. Remember, step one is just getting into orbit. That's why, you know, I'm trying to find a rocket that gets to space with more, or gets to orbit, I should say, with more fuel remaining. But we're carrying, like, all these liquid fuel boosters, which... Or, sorry, solid fuel boosters, which is not necessary. I think I just have them connected improperly. I don't think it's a staging issue. I think it's actually, like, they're physically not connected to the decouplers. Anyway. So, Apoapsis is 83,000. So, at 83,000, we're going to burn along the prograde marker, which should also be roughly parallel to the horizon. Try to get to orbit, and then we'll enact, you know, phase 2 of trying to get to the moon. Again, not necessarily high hopes, but this is more difficult than just getting to orbit, obviously. So I appreciate the patience that doubtlessly you will need to have in order to keep watching this series as I try to accomplish this. Nothing. I always do it at the same point. I always do it when there's downtime. That's the problem. Can you guys just decouple, please? Yeah, they're connected directly to the fuselage, so that's my mistake there, obviously. Hopefully this does not light them all on fire. I guess it hasn't so far, so consider that a positive. In this crazy mixed up world, at least we haven't accidentally blown ourselves up. Why can you not transmit science? Too far away? Anyway, we're at Apoapsis. Ah, I hit the wrong button! Meant to hit Z. Well, either way, what a disaster. Hey, please connect to this. Yeah, like that looks good. What appears to be the problem, officer? Why not have some launch stabilizers too? Mostly because they look freaking sweet. So these should all fire at once. Let's make sure we got this right. No, yeah, then those decouplers go. And these things should fall off. Is there any way to test this at this point? No. Okay. Everything else is looking correct. Although, we have no heat shield on this thing. Which, we might have lived anyway, but why risk it, right? Mun attempt... You know, 002, I guess, here. Leave feedback notes here. That's easy enough. Staging and decoupling problems on Mark 1. Alright. I don't know if that feedback is ever going to be useful to me. That was a totally botched launch, though. Let's do this one. Well, we're starting like 95 meters ahead of normal, so that's a big positive for us. Like I said, big positive. I thought I'd change the staging to actually have these fire simultaneously, but apparently that's incorrect. So now that we've got winglets, I'm assuming we can make this gravity turn a little easier. Maybe, maybe not. We're making very, very slight progress at the present moment. Jebediah's loving it. Yeah, the gravity turn is not going to happen. Or it's not going to happen at a conceivable degree, at least. This is what we're looking for, though. Apoapsis, 105,000. So we went too high, but we still have this whole fuel, what am I trying to say here? We have this entire stage left in terms of, cannot transmit science. This entire stage left for getting to orbit. And then one more stage for at least giving us a pass-by of the moon. The moon. That's why, if you're mad at me for mispronouncing it, don't be mad at me, be mad at English. They're the ones who decided a U sound can sound like or it could sound like O, moon, mun. I don't buy it. All right. I mean, we know the game plan here. Apoapsis has got about 30,000 meters higher than we'd like, but I don't think that's that important right now. Now remember, don't hit the space bar. Hit the Z key. Sounds like the intro to Where the Streets Have No Name. There's gotta be one there. It's like, where the delta's heavy. Yeah, where the delta's heavy. In Kerbal Space P. We're trying to orbit the Earth. I'm in Kerbin, and when I go there with Jebediah. Great song. Great song, great song. Okay, 104.7 FM. And we really want to be safe with our fuel here, so throttle up. You should honestly just burn along the prograde, I suppose. We want to stop as soon as we reach a stable periapsis. Gotta push this vector out a little bit more, buddy. You're going too close to the planet. This was a botch. I think honestly, I think I botched the most integral part of the entire experience, which is a contract complete. Right, we did that ages ago. Don't ever touch this rocket before you do this again. One simple tip: rocket launchers hate him. I think we just burned wrong. We shouldn't have burned on the prograde marker. Or maybe we don't have enough thrust, or I don't know. But you know what? Let's revert to vehicle assembly. We got time here. This is all about experimentation. What if our second stage has two of these bad boys? So we like replace this. In fact, get it out of here. Get this trash out of here. I don't need it. That's easy enough to recreate. Structural fuselage. That might have worked. I think I've really botched the flight there. I'm just being straight up with you. This is probably going to be overkill, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to go for some trilateral symmetry this time. Because trilateral sounds like a much more scientific word. That's the defining characteristic for me here. I much prefer when the rockets just... Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I much prefer when the rockets just explode instead of when there's, like, extreme pilot error. But you can't always get what you want, I suppose. And then the idea is we have decouplers under these, which then have thumpers under those. And then utility, we need aerodynamic nose cones. We probably want struts. But I'm going to assume that maybe we don't need them. What do you put on the bottom of this just to close it off? Because you just put a decoupler that never fires or something. I guess you could maybe put nothing. It doesn't even close it off. Whatever, you can just leave it open maybe. Okay, what's the problem here? We have no aerodynamics. We need some on both of these phases. Okay, I'm going to attempt 003. I have no more feedback here. Essentially. So, boom, boom. I want you in my room. We'll spend the night together from now until forever. Boom, 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 boom. I want to double boom. Yeah, I'll spend the night together in my room. Okay, it looks like it's going to work. Oh, you don't know the Venga Boys hypothesis for aerodynamic launches? It's very simple. Yeah, this looks good. Now, it might seem like we're getting... I mean, it's nothing to seem about it. We are getting less thrust in phase 1, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. Remember that for a while we had a problem where we were getting actually too much thrust. Although I think in the tutorial it says your first phase should get you to orbit. Obviously that's not going to happen here. Okay, this is the hard part. Where you probably want to like throttle way down. Just like mildly, what's apoapsis? 22,000. Okay, so we want to pitch. I don't know about this one. Apoapsis is way too low. Stretching, but way too low. It's going up, but our fuel's going down. We're gonna start with a head start horizontally, I think, but this is really just like get to orbit. Let's go to 80,000 for now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, problems. Don't think we had quite enough delta V in phase 1. I don't know what delta V means. I know it's your change of velocity. I think. Alright. Speed up. Get to apoapsis. More or less. If we at least enter orbit, that's like a start, and then we can just build another phase on the bottom of our existing rocket that has a lot of hurtin' power. 80,626. Let's go. I don't think this phase is going to get us into orbit. Man, remember when I thought getting into orbit was automatic? As we had done it a few times? Times is tough, dude. So we're going to tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap is what I mean to say. And now it's like, oh my god, it's so much easier. 11,000. We want that to be at like 70. $50? I don't know. I don't know. KerbalSpaceProgram.com. Will this work? Let's pause this up. Mun transfer. If you waited for the planetary alignment, you can keep the throttle on and continue to burn prograde until you get a Mun encounter. If not, create a maneuver node at about 45 degrees behind the moon. Pull out the prograde vector until the dotted yellow line crosses the path of the moon orbit. If you do not get an encounter, play with the prograde and retrograde vectors until you get a moon encounter. Difficulty, easy. Yeah, okay. A maneuver node is a planned velocity change along an orbit. Click on a vessel's orbital line, and a pop-up will give you an option to add a new maneuver node. Once created, selecting and right-clicking the node gives you the option to delete it. If the maneuver node has been passed, selecting it immediately puts it in delete mode. Click on a vessel's orbital line, and a pop-up will give you the option to add a new maneuver node. Okay, so where are we creating this maneuver node again? Let's get it going. Maneuver node. Create a new maneuver node 45 degrees behind the moon. Okay, sure. 45 degrees behind the moon. So this is the way it's going, I think. 45 degrees behind the moon. So this would be like 90. This would be like 45. I'm losing it. Do we have the ability to create a maneuver node? 45 degrees behind the moon. One second. They're unavailable at first. You've got to upgrade the tracking station and mission control. Yeah, okay. That's like, you know, cut it in half. Step 2, diagonally. No worries, though. Well, hey, first off, cannot transmit science, so that's a good start. Crew report. Nothing? What if we just eyeballed it? So we know that you can just burn along the prograde marker, and eventually you'll reach escape velocity. This is just a test at this point. Alright. And then I don't think that we're gonna come back. What if we just, like, let it go forever here? Like, we keep circling around and around and around. Do we have enough fuel to make it back to Kerbin? If we burn at Apoapsis along the retrograde, we actually might. So what's the idea here? Technically, what did you complete? All right, that again. First off, hey, slow down. You move too fast. You're like 11,000 meters above Earth, so Kerbin, sorry. Test your crew. Oh, it's very round. That's all you gotta say? So what's the game plan? Well, I basically just want you to go around this thing so many times that eventually maybe we pass by the Mun. Note. Fly a vessel anywhere near the Mun to achieve this goal. Okay. This one, I don't think is gonna make it. Gotta give it a shot. This is we're gonna be in here for like 2 years or something, but... Oh! He's done it! Also, slow down, because I'm pretty sure that you're about to... Well, first off, let's look at it. It's Kerbin. Whoa! Let's align ourselves along the retrograde. We're going to slingshot off into space, right? Or are we coming? We're coming back! Goodbye, Mun. I think I accidentally just at least got a moon flyby, which is a big surprise to me because of the whole, oh no. No, he's gonna make it back. He's gonna make it back. Don't even worry about it. Okay, but like slow your roll a little bit here. We don't want to accidentally pass by the moon again. No! No, we don't want to accidentally pass by the moon again. You see, I might have accidentally launched myself into outer space by going too fast. No, we're gonna make it back. We're gonna make it back. So we just wait. Okay, I know the steps. I know the steps. You're gonna wait till you get to apoapsis, and then you're gonna burn along the retrograde. What's our periapsis right now? It collides with the surface. Uh-oh. Decouple. Thank God we put on the heat shield, dude. Holy crap. So... You know what, can we test temperature during re-entry? It's a little bit of a surprise to me. But it appears as if we may actually be able to have just gotten to the moon by eyeballing it. I'm not saying I'm like the world's greatest genius or something like that, but it is kind of a surprise to me that it appears like we've managed to accomplish what, I mean, to me seemed like a fairly surprising goal. It would just be the way that I would say. Just a surprising goal that we, especially after things looked so bad, to have it all possibly work out is a little absurd. So mostly I'm like stunned at the present moment, but this is a huge milestone. I actually feel like I used deduction instead of just completely stealing the tutorial this time. I built my own rocket, my way, and we saw the surface of the moon. It took us 28 days. That's a long flight with no food, but hey. Is our business still afloat? 45 science earned. Got some funds. He gained experience for sure. We've completed a mission. Explore the Mun. What now? Science data from the surface of the Mun. That's going to take some time. Probably slow it down in the next episode, but for now, let's do something. We'll just say that successful Mun attempt rocket. Clumsily made it to the Mun. Dope! Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And oh my god, I'll see you next time.